6 foot tall with a reach of 74 inches.
Todd, this is well anticipated. I'm so looking forward to this tear-up. These two are really up for it. You know what? Nobody believes they're going to lose.
Caleb's sweet hands. Here comes the Miracle Man, Daniel Jacobs, who's had epic battles with Canelo Alvarez and Triple G, the former 2-time middleweight champion, looks to get back on top with a win in this one.
Look at this. These fights are so up for it. Look.
This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds of boxing. Fighting out of the red corner, introducing from Nashville, Tennessee, now fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, a super middleweight champion of the world, Sweet Hands, Caleb Plant.
A lot of trash talk between these two fighters. Now it's time to put up or shut up.
Todd, I'm going to stay here till the end of the night. Because if you're a fight fan like me, this is what I live for.
Thousands of fans here in attendance tonight, but when the bell rings, there will only be 2 that we're talking about. You can't imagine how bad these fighters want to get their hands on each other. One moment changes everything, especially in this division. Caution is being thrown to the wind. The counter fighter relies a lot on their instincts and reaction time. You've got to get in there quick to punch your opponent before he gets his fist back to block.
You're fighting a counter-puncher, you've got to dummy a shot. Make them react from that, then react then. I know it's hard to think that way, but counter-punchers, they're watching your every move, that every twitch.
You'd like to see more jabs. Tough to be a judge in this fight as both fighters have had their big moments.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
And that hook scores. He threw the hook, didn't land. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Let's talk about Plant in that last round. He is down big time on the scores.
Wow, it's like 2 different leagues.
Listen, be smart when you go out there. Nice round, good round. I like it. I'm happy.
Here we go for round 2. After that last round, something has got to change.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you, and that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
When you're fighting a counterpuncher, the feint can be such a good weapon. Pretend you're going to punch, make the counterpuncher throw a punch, and then you counter them.
They have got great ring IQ. Counterpunchers are the best.
Good counterpunch. So he's going to taunt here. I don't know if that's the wisest strategy. Tried to score with a jab. This has been a very competitive round as we reach the midway point.
Very close match. It shows the skill, the discipline, the respect both fighters have for each other, because no one dare do anything out of turn.
Should we be surprised if these two fighters go the distance tonight, considering how much they emphasize their physical fitness? The straight right just misses. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about planting that last round. From this moment forward, he cannot afford to lose another round.
Needs a knockout without a doubt. Needs to go out there and think, right, you know what, next round, you're getting it.
Here we go in round 3. Who's going to land the first big shot? Well, they got battered last round. How do they turn their fortunes around?
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab. Rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
Look at the hand speed and footwork between these two elite-level middleweights. This fighter's certainly not going to out-throw their opponent by any means, but they will, when they hit, be a lot harder.
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
Back and forth they go. Neither fighter willing to back down.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. One punch could change everything in this battle. What skill being displayed here between these two middleweights? Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about planting that last round. Well, he is glad to have heard that bell.
You know, I've been in fights like that. When you're thinking, come on.
Here we go in round 4. Who's going to land the first big shot? Safe to say that last round was a nightmare. Let's see if we can turn it around here.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
How much confidence do you build when your opponents hit you with their best shot and you walk right through?
Todd, you know what? Sometimes on a bloody ring with fights like that, and you punch them, you just want to run. You want that spaceship to come and lift you out there because you think, what the hell am I going to do now?
Failing to score with that right hook. Both of these fighters have had their moments.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Catch and shoot. A swing and a miss with the right hook. When are we going to see a jab from these two? The straight right just misses. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. last round. The game plan does not seem to be working here. What's he have? Here's the bell to start round 5. It has been all one-way traffic. How do they turn this around?
Now he knows he's been hurt. He's going to come out and put the pressure on. He's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. You've got to be ready for that. Don't fight fire with fire. Hold him off. Be smart because he's going to try and put you under pressure. He knows your legs have gone. He knows your head's not cleared. Be sharp.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Power is obviously the great equalizer in boxing, but when you know your opponent is relying on that so heavily, how do you deal with it?
Look back in the history books. Some of the best fighters in the world were the middleweights. Yes, the glamour division is the heavyweights, we know. But I'm telling you now, you look like these guys are on it. Fast, sharp, powerful. But it hurts, and you can imagine that being used. They're the size of an average man.
I can't believe we're only halfway through the round.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
He threw the hook, didn't land. He got out of the way of that right hook. Both going for the KO. It's so obvious. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about planting that last round. Well, he is in big. There's the bell for round 6. Let's see how they bounce back here in this round.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
You can tell one of these fighters is starting to fade. What does he need to do to get back in this contest?
Now you've got two fighters that are absolutely shattered. What gets you through? Willpower. Calm, because if you panic, you get desperate. If you get desperate, you make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you get knocked out.
And just as quickly as it slows down, it heats back up. Both men step back for just a moment. What a round so far as we've reached the halfway point.
Very close match. It shows the skill, the discipline, the respect both fighters have for each other, because no one dare do anything out of turn.
We both know who the bigger power puncher is. There's a significant power difference. How would you handle that?
That power might be the do or die. That power might be the equalizer.
Jab not finding its target. Needs to put some combination work together. One punch is good, 2 punches better. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about planting that last round. Well, this is the time that the trainer needs to come in and say something. There's the bell to start round 7. Coming off a very tough round. Let's see what they do here.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on the end. That's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. That big hook doesn't land. Energy and endurance are not an issue for this fighter who continues to be aggressive as the rounds wear on.
Sometimes when you have a fight, the best way to beat a fight is not give them what they want. Because they want to get you there. They want you to stand there toe-to-toe with them and have a tell. That's what they do in the gym every single day of the week. What you've got to do is you've got to frustrate them as they set their shots. Get out of the way. And they'll get so angry, so frustrated because they can't work.
Halfway through the round, and it's pretty much even Steven.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
And there goes Jacobs. He's down.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we continue.
Showing a lot of heart to beat the count there.
That is a show of character. When you're put down, your ego's hurt, your chin's hurt, your body's hurting, and you've got to get up, suck it up, and think, right, I'm back in the game again. It's so hard for a fighter.
They're happy this round's coming to an end. 10 seconds left. What about Jacobs in that last round? Let's see how the game plan changes. Round 8, and we're off again. His eyes look pretty clear here, Johnny. How do you think he's going to do after being knocked down in the last round?
What a knockdown. 1 minute. You need 1 hour to get over a shot like that. Now it's down to conditioning. Now it's down to mental strength and preparation. It's how you are going to deal with this.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. We wanted action, and they are delivering. Can't throw out a lazy jab in this fight. Hold that thought! Caleb Plant just got clipped. No! Did you see that? Caleb Plant is hurt.
Gamer Dad, Super 305, man.
The referee says they can continue, but how much more do they have left?
Some fighters, when this happens, this can be heartbreaking. Some fighters, it makes them angry. They want to get back into the mix again. I want to know, what sort of character are we looking at here?
Failing to score with that right hook. Oh boy, the Miracle Man now in some trouble.
That boy caught me when I wasn't paying attention, man. And I want it. Gamer Dad, Super 305, man.
Pretty lopsided decision there, a unanimous one.
What a whitewash. You know, that's skills, that's class, that's levels. One is up there, one is down there, but you know what? The loser is going to have to learn a big, hard lesson. I totally agree.
Gamer Dad, Super 305, y'all subscribe.